In the moment that Mike Johnson needed Donald Trump the most, he completely abandoned him. Yes, Donald Trump's poor little puppet is losing it because he's going to lose his job, and Donald Trump just doesn't care. The war between the White House and the MAGA House has exploded to something even I didn't even really see coming, as Republicans are furious with Donald Trump for how lazy he is and the fact that he's just letting Mike Johnson lose his job. It is kind of hilarious that this is the place that we've gotten to, that Republicans sold their soul in every single way for Donald Trump, and now he's just kind of not really caring if they also sold out their careers, which is exactly what they did. And it is why Donald Trump in some way is trying to help Mike Johnson, but not really. What he's doing in Georgia is more about a personal vendetta.
Exhibit A: Loyalty in the MAGA courtroom. When Mike Johnson needed Donald Trump's backup, the witness never showed. What follows is a political abandonment case. Motive, pattern, and fallout laid bare.
His own anger and insecurity. It's what John Ossoff called out right here before we get to how Donald Trump just abandoned Mike Johnson.
The administration is fast corrupting the Justice Department and even our intelligence agencies. And yes, they are laying the groundwork for mischief in the upcoming elections. The president said we'd never need to vote again. Then he said we shouldn't have elections. Now he says he wants to take over the elections. And like a scene out of some banana republic, Tulsi Gabbard, the country's spy chief, comes to Fulton County, Georgia, to oversee the seizure of ballots. Your ballots. Tulsi said the president asked her to go, which means the president is personally managing federal raids on election sites in battleground states, all in service of his obsession with overturning the 2020 election and laying the groundwork for whatever they're plotting this year. But they made a big mistake. They came to Fulton County, Georgia. They came to the political and spiritual heart of the civil rights movement. They came to the doorstep of John Lewis's congressional district. And as a result, we are going to mobilize the biggest and most unstoppable turnout in state history.
Although Donald Trump is going to do whatever he possibly can to steal the midterms, there is one thing that he won't do, which is try to become more politically unpopular. That is not happening. Donald Trump is only focused on what makes him happy, and what makes him happy is grifting. That makes him happy. So does attacking American citizens in the streets. He doesn't like the media blowback that he gets for that, but he's certainly happy to build his own standing army. Donald Trump likes, spouting racist bigotry. Donald Trump, he likes making up lies about the economy that just make people hate him more. But doing anything politically popular, Donald Trump couldn't possibly stomach that. And it's why Republicans right now, kind of reading the writing on the wall, are freaking out. And one of them went on the Fox propaganda outlet of all places to do just that. Republican mastermind goes on Fox with panicked warning. Veteran GOP operative Karl Rose says Republicans should worry about losing the Senate in November, and they need to focus on their messaging about the economy. During an appearance on the Journal editorial report on Fox on Saturday, Rove pointed to a series of close Senate races he said could spell trouble for maintaining the Republican majority. Maine is critical to us. The re-election of Susan Collins, she won by 9 points while Trump was losing the state by 9. Rove 75 said, think about that. Nearly 1 out of 5 Maine voters 6 years ago voted for the Democrat for president and the Republican for the U.S. Senate. That's really unusual. That's going to be a tough race, he added. Rove then turned to North Carolina, which he said should be another tough race, with Senator Thom Tillis retiring. though nice guy Michael Whatley is running on the Republican side, Rose said. Former two-term Democratic Governor Roy Cooper is an early favorite, currently beating Whatley in every poll on the New York Times poll tracker. Not going to be an easy race, Rose said. The former deputy chief of staff under George W. Bush's administration said Michigan could be an opportunity. It won't be, but that Georgia and Alaska, of all places, would be difficult. So Republicans are in panic mode, and they understand why they're panicking right now, because Donald Trump has never been more politically unpopular, and at the same time, Donald Trump has never been weaker, more politically impotent within his own party. So you would think that Donald Trump would be doing everything possible to curry favor with the Republicans he screwed over, to help them, to raise money, to go out and do like a town hall. I don't know, anything. But nope, the laziest man in the world who spends all his time eating hamburgers and sitting around watching Fox has no interest and has abandoned Mike Johnson. Republicans secretly fuming with Trump as midterm disaster looms. Republicans are secretly angry with Donald Trump because he sounds detached and non-committal ahead of potential midterm election disasters, according to White House insiders who spoke to the Washington Post. Republicans hold an anxiety-inducing ultra-slim majority in the House. This, coupled with the lack of direction from Trump, has slumping approval rating as well, and signs of a Democratic rally in performance has rankled some in the West Wing, sources told the Post. The sources said this is not yet translated to public condemnation, but some on Trump's team are privately bristling. They reported angst comes from the fact that Trump 79 has a $300 million plus war chest, but is yet to approve a spending plan, nor has he endorsed GOP challengers in some key battleground states. Because of the latter, donors have had to bankroll expensive primaries in states like Texas and Georgia. When challenged, Trump can sound detached and non-committal, one insider told the Post. Another source close to the White House said that on some days the president seems to not care at all. One official said that losing the House majority doesn't ruffle him as much because he has already faced a Democratic-led impeachment process twice in 2019 and 2021. But this laissez-faire attitude doesn't translate to his team, the Post reported, citing weary aides. As a result of Trump's reluctance to endorse Senator Cornyn of Texas has been drawn into a nasty and expensive primary challenge with MAGA fave Ken Paxton. This, along with other races that are causing problems, means spending is up for GOP primaries, and Donald Trump just doesn't seem to care. So Donald Trump is costing the donors in his party millions of dollars while he refuses to spend any of his money, which I'm just assuming he's going to be pocketing. At the same time as he's just publicly admitting, I don't care about the House, I don't care about Mike Johnson losing his gavel. He's just completely given up because of course he is. Donald Trump is lazy. He doesn't want to work. Nobody in the Trump administration has a job that they actually want to do. These people didn't get into public service to serve the public is because they think the public can serve them up, millions of dollars in contracts to give to their friends, serve them up an opportunity to become more famous, as is Kristi Noem's ultimate desire, or, serve them in trying to reduce their insecurities, which really hasn't worked for Pete Hegseth or JD Vance or Trump. But that is why they got into these jobs, not because they actually wanted to work. The one thing that Donald Trump can bank on, though, is the right-wing media. They are desperately trying to save Donald Trump right now, and it is why it is so important that we continue to build up a media apparatus on the left with Don Lemon, Brian Tyler Cohen, I've Had It, Midas Touch, and I did, as you might have seen, just launched a new channel as well where you can get all the breaking clips from Congress, the campaign trail, so much more. I'm going to link it in the top comment below. Do subscribe. I think it is the most important thing that we can do right now is build media on the left, because the right wing, they will dominate there. And although Donald Trump is not spending money to try to help anyone in these races, where the right does spend a lot of money is on Ben Shapiro, is on Megyn Kelly, is on buying up TikTok, buying up Twitter. Of course, Mark Zuckerberg runs Instagram and Facebook, CBS News. They are purchasing everything. So the most important thing that we can do right now is invest in ourselves. Invest in new channels, invest in new outlets, invest in growing talent so that the next, Adam Mockler or myself, because, we're younger guys, can have a place to grow and flourish. So that's what we're trying to do with Shift Media. It's a new channel. Subscribing and sharing with your friends is one of the best ways to help, because that is how we have have to combat what Donald Trump is doing right now. Because he's not doing anything. I mean, his media apparatus is. He just doesn't care about Mike Johnson. He's just fully abandoned him, thrown him under the bus, and said, I don't care. I'm not worried. Have fun losing. And honestly, that is so funny to me. Donald Trump doesn't care about a man who is his literal puppet, who's like, he's got his hand up his butt all the time. He's not a great puppeteer because Mike Johnson doesn't really land the message. But this is crazy that within the White House, they're pissed, and Republicans, of course, outside the White House are pissed that Donald Trump's like, well, I don't want to work, and we don't like work. Can I have another burger, please? Do you have filet of fish? We love fish. We said, wow, that's great fish. And this all comes, Donald Trump and his economic problems within the MAGA donor sphere, which is pretty funny, as Donald Trump's other main issue is his economic shortcomings, and the polling spells it all out.
Staggering. You know, the economy used to be the wind beneath Donald Trump's presidency wings, and now it's his Titanic. Because what are we talking about here? Well, let's just take a look here. Trump's economic net approval 1 year in term one, hey, yeah, plus side of ledger, plus 8 points. It was his best issue, arguably. But now it's one of his worst. Look at that. Way down in the basement, 18 points below water. What is that, John? Quickly, some math. What is that, a 26-point switcheroo in the wrong direction? This is the type of number that Democratic midterm dreams are made of and Republican nightmares are also made of.
So by and large, are voters saying it's Trump's fault?
Yeah, this is the key answer, right? Which is why? What is driving these numbers? And it is because the folks believe, the voters believe it's the Trump administration's fault. Take a look here. Okay, the Trump admin has made the economy worse or better. You go back to January of 2018, term number one. The plurality winner there was better at 40%. Just 22% said worse. Look at this side of the screen. The exact opposite story. What a switcheroo. My goodness gracious. 52% of Americans say that Trump admin, their policies have made the economy worse. And look at that, just 28% say better. Even among the GOP, just 57% say they make it better. When you're only getting 57% of the Republican base to agree with the positive position for Donald Trump, you know you are in some massive trouble, which the Trump administration and Trump in particular are on the economy.
And just to remind people, everyone says the economy is the #1 issue, and they say the president's not helping.
Correct. This more than anything else, it is what is driving Donald Trump's approval rating overall down. It is the economy. It's the #1 issue, and the American people believe that Donald Trump is failing on the key #1 issue.
You said
Donald Trump is more unpopular than ever on the two issues that he said won him the 2024 election: immigration and the economy. And it has never been worse for Donald Trump. And we need to blast that message everywhere. That is, again, why I'm asking you, and I'm probably going to throughout the week. So do it now and let me know to subscribe. It's going to be the top comment. I'm going to link the channel. You can click here, and you can also click here to watch our latest videos. Going to be putting out lots of clips. You're going to want to actually watch that interview that Thomas Massey did. That's a clip going up on the channel. Shift Media, it's where we have to be investing. It's a new project. This is incredibly important to me. So if you want to support the channel, subscribe over there. You can also subscribe here. It is the home base, but keep on fighting, y'all. Don't let them silence you. And until next time, I'll see you soon.
Verdict: loyalty in Trump's orbit is one way only. When power fades, so does protection. The lesson is simple. Those who bet everything on one man are left holding the loss.